Crazy enough, guys. Look who I ran into. This guy's real big, real jacked. And he says, why do I call him a scumbag on the internet? This is why I asked. And again, you could say...
So you got to do that for camera. You can't have a private conversation like an adult. You can only do things for the internet. You can't have a private conversation.
Because what I have to say is factual, and you guys...
It's not fair.
Sean Strickland just can't stay out of the headlines, and this time, it could cost him big. The former UFC middleweight champ is facing a lawsuit from controversial wealth coach Derek Moneyberg after Strickland blasted him online and in person, calling him a scammer who preys on fighters. Moneyberg claims these accusations are defamatory and insists he's taking the battle to court. But if you know Strickland, you know he's not backing down. He's doubling down, daring Moneyberg to step into a deposition with Jake Shields and even challenging him to roll in the gym. This feud is only heating up. Meanwhile, chaos erupted in Brazil when MMA legend Wanderlei Silva was brutally sucker punched and knocked out during a post-fight brawl after being disqualified for illegal headbutts in a boxing match against Aspinall.
Isso aí, pessoal, acabei de chegar em Curitiba, olha como tá meu olho. Estou aqui muito bem acompanhado, a minha doutora. Realmente, fui muito bem amparado.
Fans and fighters alike were outraged, calling the event unprofessional and dangerous, with many questioning why Silva was sanctioned to compete at all. And if that wasn't enough drama, Jon Jones had some fun with streamer SUED, who's been making waves in the MMA world after being tapped out multiple times by UFC fighters. From lawsuits to wild knockouts and everything in between, this week in MMA is absolutely packed. Don't miss out on the latest breakdowns, reactions, and fight news. Hit that subscribe button and join the MMA Desk community today. Dvalishvili and Sandhagen are set to face off in one of the most anticipated fights in the bantamweight division, and their back-and-forth comments have only added more heat to the matchup. Sandhagen recently laughed off Merab's claim that he might choose to strike during their fight at UFC 320. Sandhagen believes Merab would be making a huge mistake if he stood and traded punches instead of relying on his world-class wrestling and relentless pressure.
You know, he was fighting against Chito Vera, and then I was there in the crowd. And then after he win, he called me out. Merab, are you hungry? I have something for you not tasting good. Bruh. And I was so excited because he called me out, and I like to fight against him.
In an interview, Sandhagen told the media that it would be a horrible idea for Merab to try and strike with him, pointing to his own highlight reel finishes like the flying knee knockout of Frankie Edgar and the spinning kick knockout of Marlon Moraes. Merab, however, has fired back, saying that while people think of him as just a wrestler, he has real knockout power and can put Sandhagen to sleep with his punches. He admitted that Sandhagen is very dangerous and can finish fights in many ways, but he still insists that if his takedowns are stopped, he has the hands to win the fight. Fans are fascinated by this storyline because Merab is known for smothering opponents with pace and wrestling, while Sandhagen thrives in creative striking exchanges. The drama between the two makes this fight even more compelling, as both men are top contenders in the division, and this clash could decide who's next in line for a shot at the bantamweight title. Alex Pereira shocked fans when he revealed that he was far from healthy during his first fight with Magomed Ankalaev.
Magomed, do you remember the English lesson? Can you tell Alex into that camera?
Alex, stop
running away
from me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Magomed Ankalaev.
Pereira explained that when he lost by decision, he was operating at only 40% of his capacity. He wasn't just tired or out of shape, he was genuinely sick, suffering from a low immunity illness, fever, and overall burnout from constantly training and never giving himself time to rest. Pereira said that his life has always been non-stop, from his days competing in Glory Kickboxing to his rapid rise in the UFC. Even his longtime mentor Glover Teixeira told him that he needed to slow down, but Pereira felt like he couldn't. The constant training, traveling, and injuries piled up until his body broke down before the Ankalaev fight. He pointed out that if you look at pictures from the press conference, you could see how unwell he looked, even with sores on his mouth.
That I felt like he was greased. He was just too slippery, you know? And these things happen in professional sport. I'm not accusing him of anything, but that's just what I felt. I spar every day.
Despite all of this, Pereira still went into the fight, but his body wasn't in the condition to perform at his best. Now, with the rematch scheduled, Pereira insists that even a small improvement will make a huge difference. He says that if he can show up just 10% better than last time, that will be enough to turn the tables. This story has captured fans because it makes his upcoming rematch even more intriguing. Was his first fight loss truly the result of being sick and overworked, or is Ankalaev just his toughest challenge? The answer will come when they meet again, and fans are eager to see if a healthier Pereira can reclaim dominance. Heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has been impressing fans with his training updates ahead of his fight with Cyril Gane. With 3 weeks still left before UFC 321, Aspinall shared his in-body scan results that show just how incredible his physical condition is right now. He weighed in at 255 pounds, carrying 130 pounds of pure muscle while maintaining only 11.2% body fat. Those numbers are staggering, especially for someone his size, as it shows he is both massive and lean with the athleticism to match.
So me and Cyril, we've been supposed to fight each other a couple of times before.
Similar age as well, you kind of both coming through, right? Well, he's a tiny bit older than you, isn't he?
I think he's a little bit older and he has a couple more, or at least he started his career in the UFC a little bit earlier than I did. I was trying to fight him because he was like kind of just a little bit above me all the time.
His metabolic rate was also revealed to be nearly 2,600 calories per day, meaning his body naturally burns a huge amount of energy even at rest. The results gave him a perfect score of 112 out of 100, a rating that shows an exceptional balance of strength, endurance, and conditioning. Fans and analysts pointed out how rare it is to see a heavyweight with this kind of build, as many in the division carry extra body fat. Aspinall's numbers prove that he is coming into this title fight in peak condition, ready to mix speed, power, and stamina. This kind of preparation could be the deciding factor when he faces Gane, who is known for his elusive footwork and striking, but has sometimes struggled against powerful wrestlers.
Work like he does in the gym, they fight way worse, and there's other guys like myself, anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. All talk's just talk to me, mate, doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th, so it's not really going to change anything, to be honest.
By sharing these stats publicly, Aspinall is showing his confidence and also giving fans a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into preparing for a heavyweight championship fight. It has made the anticipation for UFC 321 even greater. The situation with Wanderlei Silva left the MMA community stunned and horrified. Silva, one of the most legendary names in mixed martial arts, had stepped into a boxing ring against Acilino Freitas in Brazil. The fight ended in chaos after Silva was disqualified for multiple illegal headbutts. But what came next was even more shocking. After the disqualification, tempers flared and a full-scale brawl erupted between both teams inside the ring. In the middle of the chaos, a member of Freitas' team stormed in and punched Silva. At first, Silva wasn't badly hurt, but then the same person circled back and sucker punched Silva from behind, knocking him out cold in front of everyone. The scene was disturbing to watch, especially given Silva's long history of wars inside the cage and the fact that he has previously admitted to suffering symptoms of brain trauma and CTE. Many fans and fighters were outraged online, calling the event a disgrace and demanding accountability. Some said the man who attacked Silva should go to prison, while others criticized the promotion for ever booking Silva to fight in the first place, given his age and health concern. It was a sad and troubling moment in combat sports history, as one of the toughest fighters ever was laid out not in the fight itself, but in a chaotic, unregulated post-fight brawl. The incident raised serious questions about fighter safety and the professionalism of certain fight promotions outside the UFC. Fight schedules have also been shaken up as the UFC reshuffled some of its upcoming cards. Originally, Santiago Ponzinibbio was expected to face Joel Alvarez at UFC Rio on October 11, but he has been removed from the matchup. Stepping in is Vicente Luque, who is looking to bounce back after a tough loss to Kevin Holland. Luque's had a mixed run recently, winning only 2 of his last 5 fights, but this is a chance to rebuild his momentum against Alvarez, who is a dangerous lightweight climbing the ranks. Alvarez has been out of action since December when he defeated Drakkar Klose, and he's been on a strong streak aside from one setback against Arman Zarukian.
Is there a part of you that thinks, oh, that was embarrassing, I wish that didn't happen?
Not really. Embarrassing? Nah. I'm ready to go, you know. So I was just to be honest, yeah, it was embarrassing. To be honest, yeah, it was embarrassing.
Meanwhile, Jeremiah Wells is booked to face Tim Means on November 1 in Las Vegas. Wells has been in a slump with back-to-back losses but hopes to return to form, while Means is also trying to snap his losing streak. Another significant update is Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown, which has been moved from UFC Rio to headline a November 8 card in Vegas. This is a big step for both fighters, as headlining status usually comes with more eyes and pressure. These changes show how fluid fight cards can be, with injuries, pullouts, and replacements creating new opportunities for fighters. Fans are excited to see how these reshuffled matchups will play out and whether fighters like Luque and Bonfim can seize the moment. Carlos Ulberg's career continues to skyrocket after his recent fight in Perth. Ulberg faced former title challenger Dominic Reyes, and the result was quick and brutal. Ulberg knocked Reyes out in the very first round, adding yet another highlight to his record. This victory marked his 9th win in a row, and it has people seriously talking about him as a title contender. Reyes, once a rising star who came close to beating Jon Jones, has now suffered another crushing setback. Many fans found it sad to see him knocked out again after working so hard to rebuild his career with 3 straight wins. For Ulberg, however, the win was massive. Well-known fighters and analysts, including Henry Cejudo, immediately called for him to get a title shot, arguing that his streak and performances speak for themselves. Ulberg's rise has been methodical, and his knockout power has become a defining feature of his fights. With this latest win, he has cemented himself as one of the most dangerous light heavyweights in the division. His next fight will likely determine if he truly gets a chance to fight for the belt, and fans are buzzing with anticipation to see him tested against the very top of the division. Khalil Roundtree Jr. is preparing for one of the biggest fights of his career against Jiri Prochazka, and he knows the challenge ahead is unlike any he has faced. Prochazka is ranked number 2 in the light heavyweight division and is famous for his wild, unpredictable style. Roundtree compared fighting him to solving a puzzle he has never seen before.
I will not have any blood on my face in this fight. I cannot say the same about my opponent, but you can expect that however you see my face right now is going to be exactly the same.
He knows it will be painful and chaotic, but also believes it will be rewarding if he can figure out the puzzle inside the octagon. Roundtree has already fought some of the best names in the division, but this fight feels different because of Prochazka's unorthodox approach. He told the media that beating Prochazka would be the kind of performance that proves he deserves a #1 contender spot. He imagines people watching and saying, "This guy is undeniable if he pulls off the upset." With both fighters ranked in the top 5, the stakes couldn't be higher. This matchup is not only about skill but also about mindset and the ability to adapt in real time. Roundtree seems confident and motivated, and fans are eager to see whether he can solve the puzzle that is Prochazka. The fight at UFC 320 promises to be one of the most intriguing stylistic clashes in recent memory. IShowSpeed has unexpectedly become part of MMA headlines after his interactions with UFC fighters. During his visit to the UFC Performance Institute, the popular streamer decided to roll on the mats with strawweight fighter Vanessa Demopoulos. Despite being much larger than her, Speed was quickly and easily submitted multiple times. Demopoulos tapped him out 3 times, even using just one hand at one point, which left Speed in disbelief. The footage went viral, showing how skilled fighters can handle even bigger, stronger opponents with technique alone. Afterward, Speed continued his MMA journey by visiting Albuquerque, New Mexico, where he met Jon Jones. Jones, known for his playful but intimidating personality, squared up with Speed right away, pretending to spar and joking with him about being tapped out by Demopoulos. Fans loved seeing these interactions, as they showed a fun crossover between the world of streaming and professional fighting. Speed's energy and reactions made the encounters entertaining, and for UFC fighters, it was a chance to show off their skills against someone outside of the sport. The moments also highlighted the effectiveness of martial arts and gave fans a lighthearted break from the more serious headlines in MMA. Diego Lopes has made it clear he wants another shot at Alexander Volkanovski, and he isn't shy about it. After his impressive win over Gene Silva, Lopes said he would love to rematch the champion as early as December.
I feel amazing. I'm so happy. I train a lot for this fight. I told you guys, I'm sure it is going to have a level. I've definitely the high level. I'm sure you now I'm enjoying.
What makes Lopes stand out is his willingness to fight anytime, anywhere. He explained that he never needs months of preparation because he stays ready year-round. If the UFC called him tomorrow, he says he would be on the next flight to fight. This attitude has won fans over, as it shows his fearlessness and dedication to the sport. Lopes even changed his Instagram profile picture to a cowboy hat image from his UFC debut, sparking excitement online. Volkanovski himself praised Lopes recently, which makes the idea of a rematch even more possible. Lopes believes he has proven that he can beat these new generation fighters and that his style matches well with the champion. At the same time, a new contender, Movsar Evloev, has also been calling out Volkanovski after winning on Dana White's Contender Series. With so many fighters targeting the champion, Lopes will need to keep making noise to get the fight. Still, his momentum and exciting style make him a strong candidate, and fans are watching closely to see if the UFC gives him the opportunity. The conflict between Sean Strickland and Derek Moneyberg has turned into a legal battle. Moneyberg, an online financial coach, received a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt after less than 4 years of training, which raised eyebrows across the MMA world. Many questioned how he earned it so quickly, and Sean Strickland was one of his loudest critics. Strickland accused Moneyberg of being a scammer who exploits UFC fighters by using their platforms to promote his business. A heated exchange between the two was caught on camera, where Strickland confronted Moneyberg in person. Strickland told his fans that he would never promote Moneyberg's services because he believes they are dishonest and prey on fighters who are just trying to make a living. Moneyberg insisted he had always been respectful and accused Strickland of spreading lies for attention. Now, Moneyberg says he is suing Strickland for defamation, claiming that the fighter's comments have harmed his reputation and business. Strickland responded online, saying he is ready for the lawsuit, and even suggested calling Jake Shields into a deposition to testify about Moneyberg's dealings. He mocked Moneyberg, saying fighters had warned him about paying Moneyberg huge sums of money. Strickland also invited Moneyberg to meet him in Vegas, sign a waiver, and roll on the mats instead of hiding behind legal threats. This feud has exploded into one of the wildest storylines in MMA, combining lawsuits, personal insults, and even challenges to settle things in a gym. Fans are closely following to see how it plays out, as Strickland has never been one to back down from a fight inside or outside the cage. This week in MMA has been a roller coaster of drama, chaos, and excitement, showing once again why fight fans can never look away for too long. From Dvalishvili and Corey Sandhagen trading verbal jabs before their high-stakes clash, to Alex Pereira revealing the health struggles that cost him his first fight with Magomed Ankalaev, the build-up to UFC 320 and beyond is already filled with anticipation. On top of that, Tom Aspinall's jaw-dropping fitness stats prove that the heavyweight champ is taking his upcoming battle with Cyril Gane more seriously than ever. But while the UFC continues to deliver elite matchups, the combat sports world was shaken by the ugly scene involving Wanderlei Silva, where an all-time legend was brutally sucker-punched in a post-fight brawl, sparking outrage across the community. Meanwhile, up-and-comers like Carlos Ulberg, Khalil Roundtree, and Diego Lopes are all pushing their way into title conversations, keeping divisions buzzing with fresh contenders. And of course, Sean Strickland's latest feud spilling into the courtroom with Derek Moneyberg proves that outside the cage drama is never far away. If you want to stay on top of all the breaking news, wild stories, and fight breakdowns from the MMA desk, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the MMA Zone community today.